related to the death of a mother and a daughter in a vehicle crash, escaped from Sandoval Detention Center. It was believed that Paul Garcia was known to frequent the East Mountains of Bernalillo County, Moriarty, and the city of Albuquerque. Following investigative leads and tips from the public, detectives from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department Fugitive Apprehension and Surveillance Team, working in conjunction with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force, located and arrested Paul Garcia today. An unidentified family member of Paul Garcia reached out to the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department and the U.S. Marshal's Office, advising that Mr. Garcia was willing to cooperate and turn himself in. He was located at approximately 1 p.m. near the 200 block of High Mesa Road in Meadow Lake community of Valencia County. He was taken into custody without incident and has been transported and booked into the Bernalillo County Metropolitan Detention Center. The investigation leading up to and including his escape from jail continues and is being led by the Sandoval County Sheriff's Office. At this time, it is unknown if Paul Garcia had any help from other subjects in his escape or during the time on the run. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department will continue its investigation to detail his movements and any help he may have had while on the run. We would like to thank our law enforcement partners who assisted in the investigation and apprehension of Paul Garcia, including but not limited to the United States Marshal's Office, the Albuquerque Police Department, the New Mexico State Police, New Mexico Probation and Parole, Sandoval County Sheriff's Office, and the Metropolitan Detention Center. More details as to how he escaped and if he was aided while on the run will be released as they are known. Do you have any questions?
So he's at MDC now. Is he going to be transported back to Sandoval County for his court hearing this coming week?
That I'm not privy to. I don't know what the arrangements are. I'm sure he still has to be questioned in terms of his escape, so I don't have that information right now.
So he's going to be at MDC for
yes,
now?
The people at MDC would be able to answer that question.
One more time on where he was located.
He was located in Valencia County in the Meadow Lake community. Do you need the address?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yes, it was at the 200 block of High Mesa Road.
Is that a residential area, or?
I believe so.
Do you know what type of connection he had to that area?
That an unidentified family member had given the information as to that's where he was at.
And so was that the family member's home?
That I don't know.
Okay.
That person doesn't want to be identified. They wanted to keep this as low-key as possible. They cooperated with law enforcement, and out of respect for the family members, they wanted to keep it as low profile as possible.
Will they get the reward?
That's what I was going to ask.
That I'm not sure of.
So he knew that this family member was contacting you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Was he out there just kind of out in the road, or what was his status when you guys got him? Was he up in the house? What was that?
No, it was a coordinated effort. He was. They had talked about him turning himself in. They didn't want a lot of attention, so the teams that went out and apprehended kept it as low profile as possible for them and the family, respecting their wishes.
And so now that he has been caught and is back in custody, what are the charges that he's facing, the additional charges?
Escape. Off the top of my head, I don't know all the other things that would be involved, but definitely escape from a detention facility.
And did you guys interview him once you brought him back?
We haven't interviewed him, and that's why we wouldn't know all the charges. We don't know if any was aided by anybody. So at this point, we wouldn't know.
Is there a reason you guys responded as opposed to Valencia County?
He was a inmate of Metropolitan Detention Center.
Okay. Are there any concerns? He just escaped from Sandoval County. I mean, are there concerns with him being held at MDC? I mean, is there going to be any changes?
No, not that I'm aware of. I'm sure that that the detention center takes probably added measures whenever somebody escapes at that risk. So I'm sure they have things in place that would ensure that he stays in jail.
But there are no concerns for you that
No.
this could happen again?
No, not any concern from us at this point.
Is there any indication he was involved in any other criminal activity while he got out, other than escaping and, you know?
Not that we're aware of. It's still under investigation. Yeah, I don't even believe he's been interviewed, so not that I'm aware of.
The family member, the unidentified family member that called in the tip, are they going to be talked to as far as if they possibly helped?
I'm sure there'll be a follow-up in the investigation. Obviously, I don't know that at this point because he hasn't been interviewed.
But the family will be interviewed as well?
I'm sure all people that came in contact with would be interviewed.
And approximately what time was he taken back into custody?
Today, at approximately 1 p.m.
Okay.
Can you talk about, you know, he's been charged with some pretty serious charges, and the fact that he was just out on the streets again. Can you talk about the fact that no one seemed to have been harmed while he was out, and kind of the relief there in that sense?
Well, we don't know all the details as to what transpired after he escaped, so it would be hard for me to answer that question. Once he gets interviewed and we know more information, we'll release that information.
How did this impact your resources as far as tips? I know there were tips called in all over, I mean, I'm sure hundreds, different agencies responding to different areas with possible sightings. Did this take a toll on the Bernalillo County's resources as far as, I mean, it was just one day that he was out, but were you guys called to several different locations for possible sightings? Did this impact your resources at all?
Well, we didn't do this apprehension by ourselves. Obviously, we named a bunch of different law enforcement agencies that were collaborating with us, and obviously we appreciate the support we had, but we had a lot of support from other agencies, and I believe because as a result of that teamwork, we were able to make that apprehension. So I think between the leads and all the intelligence and all the other information, everything came together, and obviously by him talking, you know, listening to reason, he actually turned himself in.
And so BCSO went out there to apprehend him. Did Valencia County assist at all? Because it
Not
was
that
in
I'm
their-
aware of.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. Just ourselves and the U.S. Marshals Task Force.
What does the investigation look like from here? Do you guys talk to inmates? I think Sandoval County you said is leading it, but who do they talk to from here?
They'll probably try to contact everybody that he's come in contact from the time he escaped up to the time he was apprehended.
So again, just even though Sandoval County is leading the investigation, you don't know if he'll be transported back to Sandoval County?
At this point, I don't have that information.
And it's not at all clear how he actually made it to Sandoval or to Valencia County from Sandoval.
No, they're still doing their investigation, and I think those would probably be more appropriate for Sandoval County to answer.
Relieved to have me off the streets.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, obviously. I think anybody has a concern anytime that somebody leaves for escapes. There's always a concern for public safety, and obviously we're very relieved.
Was this a surprise for you guys to hear, to get the news that he escaped? This is a guy accused of some serious crimes. Were you worried about what could happen if he's on the street?
Oh, we're always concerned, and obviously first and foremost is the safety of the community. And obviously, as soon as we learned that, our operational people went into work, and obviously we got the results we needed. So our hats off to our staff, and obviously to all the other law enforcement agencies that helped out.
And I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but in NDC, will he be kept in a certain area away from the other population? Will he be secluded and not allowed recreation? Do you have any of that information?
I don't have those details. I think after he's been interviewed, we'll learn more. And I think obviously after we speak to NDC, we'll learn more about the measures they take in terms of keeping him detained.
Do we know how he was able to escape from the detention center yet? Do we know if he had any tools or anything on him?
No. Again, Sandoval County's handling that portion of the investigation. Anything else?
Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
And if you guys have any information on McPherson, on his capture, any details on him at all, his interview? No?
No. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.